Can everybody see Lake Michigan down there?
Yeah.
Way smaller than you thought it was going to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
A lot of distortion on your maps, I think. That is not Lake Michigan right there, guys. What we actually have right down there is Goshorn Lake. Now, Goshorn Lake's a great example of the inland lakes that got made during the last ice age. When those glaciers came through here, they grouted little lakes like this right out of the landscape all over the area up here. And most of these glacier lakes have quite a bit of water in them. So does Goshorn. The last time the DNR took a survey, they told us it's still 156 feet deep right down there. Wow. Okay, so we still have a whole lot of water left in Goshorn. I keep using the word still and left because we know Goshorn Lake used to be 4 to 5 times this size. It used to stretch all the way out into this dune basin, and originally it did actually connect to Lake Michigan. Now that was a very long time ago. That's back when the whole area we're going to see today was still covered with an old growth white pine forest. They came through here way back in the 1870s and they strip lumbered this forest out of here. When they did that, the way the west winds blow off of Lake Michigan, they very quickly blew away the topsoil in this front area. Okay, so the front area sat for just about 85 years as wide open blowing and drifting sand. That sand would erode up to 15 feet a year back then. It would fill in, bury, or cover absolutely anything in its path. And that's exactly what's happened to the other 75 to 80% of Goshorn. This dune just over my left shoulder, just rolled that sand over. It has pretty much filled this lake in vertically as it's moved along. So much so, within 4 or 5 feet of this bank right here, that lake shoots down to about 85 feet deep. Okay, and I used to tell everybody how much fun it was to go swim in there. You could climb that sand dune, sprint down the side, and dive right into that water when you got there. And they put up a sign about a month ago that said you can't do it anymore. So, you know, if you go there, just act like you're not very good at signs, and you can still get a couple good runs at it. You see. Just the only thing is, if they tell you you can't do it anymore, don't tell them Frosty said it was okay. That's not going to help you out at all.
Brian.
Yeah.
What's the origin of the name Goshorn Lake?
You know what? Somebody asked me that the other day too, a little kid, and the only thing that I told him was that somebody was standing on the hill and said, "Gosh, it looks like a horn." My guess is it's a Native American word though, because they used to actually have, like, the Indians that lived here in the area would have meetings by this lake right here, and it's a really old thing. And I tell you the truth, we got a couple of books inside it, and I should have, right when I got back from that, looked up why they call it Goshorn. But really, my answer is I'm not sure. Fred's the hardest worker we have in the dune ride. Any job we give that man, he dives head first right into. We can't keep him from getting buried by all of his work out here. They're gonna get worse too. You don't think they do, but they do. Y'all see his lunchbox up there? Yeah. What do you think a man like that brings for lunch every day? Sandwich. Who can guess his wife's name?
Sandy.
Sandy. Sandy. What about his favorite movie? The Sandlot. You're killing me, Smalls. You guys, it's a little tougher question, but who can tell me his favorite song? Sandman. That's a great guess. It's actually Love Me Tender by Elvis. I'm just shocked nobody's ever guessed. It's such a beautiful song, guys. You know, I wrote that last joke all by myself. I was pretty proud of it too, and I had a kid, maybe an 8-year-old right here, about a month and a half, 2 months ago, that said, "Don't you think it should be Frosty the Snowman then?" And I agree with him, but I just don't have the heart to actually change it. I'm so proud of the love me tender joke. I don't write a lot of good jokes, so. So, you guys remember while we were sitting up there and I told you this sat for just about 85 years as wide open blowing and drifting sand? It wasn't until the very late 1950s the state of Michigan decided to do something about this dune erosion going on out here. They ended up getting together with the fine folks at Michigan State University, which is our in-state agriculture school here in Michigan, and the good people of the United States Army Corps of Engineers, and the three of them kind of put their head together and decided the best thing they could do out here would be to plant this dune grass you see all around us out here. Now this grass is actually called sea oat or marram grass, and it would not naturally grow here in Michigan. Naturally, you're going to find this kind of grass in the coastal Carolinas, coastal Georgia, northern Florida region of the United States. In order for those fine folks at Michigan State to get this grass to grow here, throughout the 1960s, they had student volunteers come out here and hand plant this grass every 3 to 5 feet or so, hoping that it would take root, that it would live through these Michigan winters we have here in this area, and that it would help us shore up this dune erosion. One of the biggest issues they actually ran into back in the 60s was finding enough college kids willing to experiment with grass over their summer vacation. It took them a bit of time. Eventually they got enough volunteers. They got this grass planted with the help of 2 other test markets in West Michigan. This grass has grown and spread all up and down this lakeshore, and it virtually holds the entire west coast of Michigan down pat at this point. Where these dunes used to erode up to 15 feet a year, because of this dune grass, that erosion is now less than a 1/16 of an inch, which is very manageable. Eventually, this grass is going to go on to help form a new layer of topsoil out here, and eventually this whole area will reforest, and it'll look like what we're going to see in a few minutes. Well, 20 minutes or so from now when we get down to the wooded area. We do know that reforestation process has started off. We see shrubs, brush, and trees like this starting to fill in the leeward side of most of these dunes, but we do think it'll be 200, 250 years or so until this does all reforest. So if you guys pop back by in about 250 years, you can expect it to look a lot different than this.
In that truck?
Yeah.
Probably. Just hit me in the hand. Oh, there they are. Who would ever have known?
You guys are being promoted in nature. Hey, we're gonna hop off the truck here. We're gonna hang out for about 10 minutes or so until we roll on out of here. I'm actually gonna set an alarm to go off about 7 minutes will remind me to get back up in the truck, guys. But we're free to move about the top of the dune as you see fit up until then. You ladies were talking about racing down the sand dune.
Oh yeah.
That big one right there, and then you got to climb all the way back up. You see.
Just watch your belongings. Frosty's our new work release driver. We're proud of him.
Grandma, can I leave my shoes on here?
It's up to you, sweetie, if you want sand.
Yeah, let's race, Kailyn.
If you want to go down it, one of these guys go in.
Okay.
Okay, so on this side, it's this side.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. This side, guys.
Wait, whoa, we're running down it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm skinny enough to run back up.
Wait a minute, wait for me. Put me help, Grandma. Pick that up and move that over for him.
You gotta do something about this stuff, Charlie.
Please.
Oh yeah, here, just check under it real quick before you lift it.
Almost have it.
Where was I moving it?
You really just wanted her to open it, that's all.
Oh, all right.
Well, then go open it.
Come on, help Grandma. I'll move that trap over here.
Well, then it'll get you, not us. Which is working.
Oh my gosh, quit being a baby. Oh,
You guys aren't even funny.
I thought it was pretty hilarious. When it was there, that was.
Jesus. Wait, which way are we running?
Straight down. Just make sure to come right back up.
I just... Oh my... Forgot I have to tell you something.
Come on, guys. I tinkled a little. Come on.
I want to go through it. Yeah. Good. You're ready. He just had no hands on the handle. chickens.
Turkey.
Oh, turkey. Look at that turkey.
So yeah, a couple of cool things to point out here, guys, and we do see these turkeys. So they say it's either a turkey or a rooster that would be the closest living descendant of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. And I just think that's hilarious when you see them move. It's even more funny when you watch Jurassic Park if you picture those dinosaurs going. It's hilarious. Anyway, we just like to stop here for a second and point out a couple of fun things. I like to talk about our old office right here. This was the office for the Dune Ride from 1953 to 1981. And I just love the fact that they ordered it out of the Sears and Roebuck catalog. So I stop here and point that out to everybody. For you guys that might be too young to remember that, it's a lot like Amazon. Except we got a huge catalog delivered to our house every couple of months, and you could order stuff out of it. And where Amazon has 2, 3, or 4 day delivery, depending on where you are in relation to their center locations, that would be 4, 5, 6 week delivery. I would think that building would have taken a couple months probably. But as far as I know, you can't order office buildings or houses off Amazon. So score 1 for the Sears and Roebuck catalog, really, if you think about it, guys. Yeah, there's a whole lot of houses that got built out of that catalog, and I didn't believe them. For the full year, first year I worked here, I was like, sure, you ordered from the catalog. So that cage right there was actually used to be on the Saugatuck Dune State Park. Most of that land was owned by the Felt family originally, and they had a full zoo on their yard. That was their black bear cage. Could you imagine being a 400-pound black bear in there? No. So, yeah, that's what I think. They could easily bust through it too. I wouldn't think that'd be a safe cage for a bear. But that's what they did. So we do head uphill from here. Anyone real scared of heights? It's kind of a big deal. Works out great.
She's fine.
I close my eyes at the top because I'm real scared of heights too. So if that helps you, it really helps me.
That's fair. It's fine. That means he drives and closes his eyes at the top.
Right in front of us is the dune we were just walking around on. So you remember when I told you they were the tops of those trees? You really can see that from right here, can't you? How those trees grow right out.
I'm so
now
excited
if you take
to
a
go
look
down
behind
this.
us, you'll see Goshorn Lake again. And if you remember our first stop, I said that used to be 4 to 5 times the size. Originally, those cottonwoods right in front of us were growing directly on the shores of that lake behind us. All of the sand is sand that eroded in here in that interim time between them lumbering this forest and getting this grass planted. So from up here, you really can feel that. Now I go just a bit quicker down this hill, guys. Do y'all want to hold on, or are we going hands up?
Hands up.
Harder to steer, but we'll give her a shot.
Okay, you got it. Okay. Here we go.